Not far west of downtown Los Angeles lie the Santa Monica Mountains, one of the largest protected examples of a Mediterranean ecosystem anywhere in the world. The climate of the Santa Monica Mountains, along with its diverse topography, has created a landscape filled with unique natural resources, 40 miles of coastline, and more than 500 miles of trails. Over 1,000 plant species provide habitat for hundreds of mammal, bird, reptile, and amphibian species. In the 1970s, Sue Nelson, Margot Fiore, and Jill Swift lobbied tirelessly to help save the landscape they loved. Freshman Congressman Anthony Bielenson, working closely with the indomitable Sue Nelson, then crafted a bill calling for the creation of a national park in these beautiful mountains. The resulting law established a 153,000-acre preserve that extends from Franklin Canyon to Point Mugu, protecting the scenic, recreational, educational, scientific, archaeological, and historic aspects of the Santa Monica Mountains. With the ever-changing climate and proximity to a major city, this landscape is affected by weather, chemicals, light pollution, and human interaction. Fires are occurring more frequently. The Woolsey Fire tore through these mountains in 2018, devastating 88% of National Park Service property here. The land, its wildlife, and native plants suffered immense damage. The Santa Monica Mountains Fund is committed to ensuring that young and old alike have the opportunity to understand the impacts of climate change within this environment. The Santa Monica Mountains Fund helps sustain National Park Service sites through supporting post-fire reconstruction, habitat restoration, and ensuring visitors have a safe and enjoyable experience in the mountains. Our current projects include wildlife research, environmental education, nurturing native plants, and restoration. With support from the National Park Foundation and donors around the country, Samo Fund involves underserved youth from Los Angeles and Ventura counties in programs led by NPS Rangers. We administer the Open Outdoors for Kids program. Each year, around 20,000 fourth graders experience a day of outdoor learning. For many, this is their first ever visit to a national park. We also employ high school juniors and seniors in the Samo Youth Program each summer. These college-bound students from diverse backgrounds work with NPS Rangers for 8 weeks. They learn about a career in public land management through tasks such as clearing trails, guiding visitors, and restoring facilities. Samo Fund is also hiring students and graduates from underserved communities over longer periods, offering work in these difficult times. They're gaining valuable experience in the native plant nursery, on the trails, and other areas of the park. The Santa Monica Mountains National Recreation Area is rich in wildlife and native plants, but significant urban development in and around the park fragments the natural habitat, posing one of the greatest threats to mammals. Such barriers prevent animals from creating their home ranges that are so necessary for survival. The fund is dedicated to advancing research and conservation of the park's wildlife, mountain lions in particular. These predators are at significant risk in the Santa Monica Mountains, so we champion the creation of a wildlife crossing over the 101 freeway to help support the survival of this puma population. 2 decades of research by NPS biologists has shown that the vast majority of bobcats, coyotes, and mountain lions have been exposed to one or more compounds of rat poison. So the NPS Nature Neighbor program offers information to people living in or near the mountains on how to live and interact responsibly with urban wildlife. Within this, our flagship campaign, Break the Poison Chain, provides advice on controlling pests without using deadly rat poison. The fund helps support the park's native plant nursery, which grows thousands of trees, grasses, and shrubs used to restore habitat and trails throughout the mountains, so important since the Woolsey Fire. Paramount Movie Ranch has been the home of filmmaking in the Santa Monica Mountains for nearly a century. Its destruction in the Woolsey Fire was disastrous. The National Park Service will restore the ranch, so the fund is working to raise some of the money for this project. After the ranch's restoration, the visitor experience will be enhanced, and movie-making magic should be able to continue here for another 100 years. The National Park Service works to ensure the park is relevant for everyone. To support this, the fund has honored those who campaigned to rename Ballard Mountain from the pejorative. John Ballard, a former slave turned successful blacksmith, homesteaded 160 acres of land in these mountains in the 1800s. The new name now formally honors this accomplished man and his family. As home to both the wild and the urban, the Santa Monica Mountains are a place of contrasts. This is where mountain lions live in neighborhoods with millennials, where rare flora bloom alongside bike trails, and where tide pools teem with aquatic life below beachside mansions. Here, native plants and animals recolonize the urban center. Scientists work to discover wildlife in the city streets and hidden canyons, and urban kids can experience a landscape inhabited for over 10,000 years. At the Santa Monica Mountains Fund, we believe that the wild lies within all of us, and that nature is a book telling a beautiful story. If only we listen.